Tamor, this evening, all the way along the U.S. Gulf Coast, from Texas in the west to Florida in the east, people are hoping and praying that BP's Operation Top Kill, which finally got underway on Wednesday about 5 hours ago, will be successful. But no one knows for certain. Even the President, Barack Obama, said that there are no guarantees. Within the past few minutes, we've heard from the beleaguered Chief Executive of British Petroleum, Tony Hayward, who said, so far the operation appears to be going as planned, but it will take at least another day to see if it is successful or not. So, Operation Top Kill, now underway. It's a complicated maze of wires and pipes 1.6 kilometers under the Gulf of Mexico. Nothing like this has ever been tried before, and to say a lot is riding on it for BP would be an understatement. US President Barack Obama is telling BP to plug the damn hole, and the oil giant is now trying to do exactly that. The operation labelled Top Kill is being carried out before the eyes of the world with live pictures from 1.6 kilometres beneath the surface. Vessels on the surface of the sea carry pipes that will be lowered deep into the ocean. The pipes will shoot a heavy mud mixture into the broken riser, hopefully killing off the high-pressure jet of oil spurting out of the ground. Cement will be used to seal it off. If the mud from Top Kill doesn't do the trick, BP will have to think again. Among its options is firing a so-called junk shot to help plug the hole. The junk might include pieces of tyre, golf balls, tennis balls and even rope. And again, it will all be capped off with a heavy dose of cement. BP says success is far from certain.
I have to say that it will be a day or two before we can have certainty that it's worked.
And you have said
those of you who are watching it live on the feed should be aware that there will be changes to the flow patterns. That should not be interpreted as either success or failure. It is simply a consequence of the impact of beginning to pump mud.
Top Kill is the latest in a series of capping methods that have been tried since the blast at the Deepwater Horizon oil rig almost 40 days ago. The Dome was among the first, a 100-ton steel and concrete box, developed and built with the aim of being lowered into the water to cover the broken well and block the leak. It failed to accomplish its mission after ice crystals formed and clogged the top of the dome. Then there was the top hat, a smaller cone that was heated to prevent the ice crystals from forming, that was supposed to siphon out the oil and send it to a ship on the sea surface. BP and federal government agencies have also been working round the clock to contain the oil that has already slipped through to the surface. Controlled burning is one such method, burning off all oil particles on the surface of the sea. And tossing toxic chemical dispersants into the water to break up the oil to stop it from reaching the region's delicate wetlands. Although BP says it's already spent more than $700 million on damage control, none of its methods have come close to accomplishing their stated goal.
John, BP is talking about a 60-40 chance that this might work. What happens if we hit the 40% part of that equation?
Well, it is almost unthinkable, isn't it? But there are a number of options on the table. And I just want to tell you that Tony Hayward, who is the BP chief executive, was on a major breakfast show here this morning. And he was talking, even before Top Kill got underway, about what they might do next. And one of the things he was suggesting was another chance to lower one of those hats, as he called it, that I mentioned in my package there, where you lower it right the way down and kind of cap and siphon off the well that way. And if that doesn't work, there really is this extraordinary plan to pump junk into the leaking pipe. Things like golf balls, tennis balls, bits of rope, old tyres, that sort of thing, all topped off eventually with cement. But you know, the real worry, Tamor, is that if none of this works, then there is only one thing left to do, and that is to continue drilling, which they are, into the hole to siphon off the oil as it comes up. But that's going to take until the middle of August, and there's a real risk that that will happen in the middle of hurricane season, with obvious dangers, and also the height of the fishing season here, which is really how these people make a lot of their money, Tamor.
John, we've got the President actually making another visit down to Louisiana on Friday. What kind of a reception is he going to get?
Well, it's difficult to know what he's going to do and say, isn't it? Because he's not a scientist, he's a lawyer. He's coming here to put his stamp of approval and authority on what the White House says is a pretty big operation anyway. They reckon they've got something like 22,000 people here working on this in the Gulf region and 12,000 boats. But Mr. Obama is going to do what his senior cabinet members did on Monday, to tour the region, to see the affected region, to talk to BP senior executives. And it's quite something, I think, when the President of the United States puts out a statement which says, tell BP to plug the damn hole. I mean, that's quite strong. And I think he's going to make sure that message gets home to BP. Of course, it could be a different environment come Friday, because if this well is capped by then the whole emphasis switches not to the worry of the gusher continuing 1.6 kilometers down, but how to clean up the delicate wetlands and marshlands that are being hurt right now. But at least we'll know that the danger point will have been stopped.